by the sound of things, the way you've explained it, is the meeting with the Michael King sort of changed the trajectory of where you were going in your life. What would you put that down to, or how do you sort of explain that to yourself? Is it luck? Did you put yourself to be in those positions? How does someone?
That's a good question. I think number one, trusting your gut.
Okay.
Trusting your gut and have the courage to say yes when you're scared, when you know your gut says you need to do it.
Right.
Because a lot of these things, a lot of the people I met, I didn't have money when I went to massage therapy school in Atlanta. I didn't have money and I had no desire to be on the West Coast. I really enjoy the East Coast. And I was like, I didn't know if that's where I was supposed to be, but when I actually prayed about it and took some time to talk to my close family and friends, I said, you know what? This is the next chapter of my life. It's not where I'm probably going to end up, but it's the next chapter of my life. And everything I do and the decisions I make, I'll often look at them as chapters of a book.
Right.
So it's not like an end-all be-all, and I don't want to get paralyzed by the decisions I make, but I always want to try to make the best decisions. Sometimes your head says yes, but your gut says no, or vice versa. Rarely does your gut lead you wrong.
Right.
So a lot of those things, going to play football over in Europe was a gut. It was a gut decision of I was going to constantly work hard. I was going to put myself in a position where I could succeed, and then I was going to take the chance. Opening my own business, if anyone that has their own business, it takes a lot of guts. Sometimes your head's saying yes, your gut's saying no, or vice versa. Sometimes they're both saying yes, or sometimes they're both saying no. But it was very scary to do that. But my gut was saying, even though I had no clue really what the heck I was doing on that, it was pure passion and guts that I want to do this because I know I can help people. And if I can instill the belief in people that they will get better, and through exercise, through nutrition, through mindset, through flexibility, through yoga, through body work, through all the things I can help you. I've been practicing the last umpteen years as both an athlete and now going through the rehab process. I know I can help you get better. 90% of success is between the ears, and if you believe that I can help you get better, I have the actual strategy to help you. But once you start believing it, then we can really get to some good levels. So that's all I think part of the journey, and I think having the guts and the courage to say yes when sometimes you're scared can really help you go a long way.
Everyone's got a vision and they think it needs to happen in a certain way. I guess like you, your vision was to be a pro football player.
Right.
There was probably a bigger vision for you, which I suppose if you're closed off and felt that you failed because you're not going to be a pro football player, you'd have closed yourself off to a bigger opportunity. In terms of lessons, do you think it's not being affected by short-term failure and having a belief or a faith that there's something beyond that? Do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting because right now my vision is a lot more clear about where my life is going than back then.
Right.
Back then I really didn't know. Like I didn't have a vision I was going to have a successful training business. That wasn't my vision. My vision was I was going to help people.
Right.
I didn't know how that was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to be a chiropractor, a physical therapist, go to med school. I was going to be a football coach because I love football so much. But I knew I loved helping people. I knew I loved working with my hands, and I wanted to be able to use my brain as well. But I kept saying yes to opportunities that would come my way. I had the opportunity when I was playing football to just take a good job as a high school teacher and football coach back in the day, and I said no to that. And I'm not sure why I said no to it, because it was a good job and I didn't have any other jobs available at the time. But there was something that was holding me back from saying yes, because it seemed like the right thing, right? It's the same reason why I left LA. People on the outside would be like, why are you leaving LA? It was because I knew I wanted to go back to grad school so that I would have a future, hopefully someday, as an entrepreneur, not knowing that I was going to meet my wife in grad school and that we were going to be settled here in San Diego, California on that stuff. I think it's sometimes you don't always have the answers when you're saying yes to the things. You can't always explain them. But one thing I could certainly say is that when you make a decision, you have to be all in on that decision, and you have to connect with people. You have to really connect with people deeply, because especially today, the world is so small, and you're only a couple steps away from knowing anyone that you want to know. And especially in the fitness space, man, it's a small industry in the sense of just collaboration. Is you never know how someone can help you get you to where you want to go. And I think that's important. Is I often talk about your network is your net worth. your network is your net worth, is you got to learn just to serve people. And on all levels of how can you be a better servant leader. I'm always studying that. How can I be a better servant leader? What can I do to help my team at Fitness Quest 10? What can I help my members and clients at Fitness Quest 10 be better people? How can I serve those that are on my email list and or my mastermind group? Like, how can I serve them better? Like, what can I say to them or do for them that's going to help them be better? I just think the more you serve, then it's just fulfilling your purpose of impact.
Yeah, great purpose. So how did you go from then? You got your PhD in Malibu. How did you go then to open where we are here?
Just to be clear, I didn't get my PhD. I felt like I got my PhD. Okay. I left to get my master's degree, but I felt like I got a PhD experience up there on that. Same thing. When I finished graduate school at San Diego State University, got my master's degree, I got right out of grad school, I got an opportunity to be a full-time strength and conditioning coach at a great college in Los Angeles. It was a 10-year track position. And I said no to it. And I had no other job. And I don't know why I did that, but it's interesting because if I would have said yes to that, I would have never opened my business here at Fitness Quest 10. I like San Diego. I was dating my future wife at the time, and I just didn't want to go back to LA to be a strength coach at that time. It just didn't feel right in my gut. I did a lot of soul searching, and anytime you make a big decision, it takes soul searching.
And sorry, just on that, what process do you go through to make a big decision? Because it's something we talk about quite a lot. In our business, we have these big decisions, these big crossroads moments. Do you have a process of what you go through to come to that point of saying, right, that's what I'm going to do?
Oh, it's pretty basic, honestly. It goes back even when I was in high school and college. In massage therapy school, I remember doing this. The pluses and minus column. Like, line up all the pluses, line up all the minuses. And that's not the right answer. Like, oh, more pluses and minuses, so I got to do this one. But to me, I always start with the plus and minus column. And then for me, I typically go away and get quiet time. At that point in my life, I remember I was going down to the beach every morning and literally just like praying about it.
Right.
And praying, where am I supposed to be? You know, for my divine purpose, where am I supposed to be? And give me the courage and the audacity to have the strength to say yes to what I'm supposed to be, not what the outside world thinks I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And that's hard. Because like if other people think, oh my gosh, you got this great job, but you have this opportunity, how can you say no to that? Deep down, if there's a little voice in there, I call it the spirit, is saying, no, this is what I want you to do, then can you be disciplined enough to listen to that? That's the hard part. And for me, that's why I said no at that time to an amazing opportunity. There was no other tenure track strength and conditioning coach at the university level at that time. But obviously when I was able to tap into that, I think God had a different plan for me. 3 months later, I found this space. And again, despite having no clients, no money, or no business plan, I opened upon faith that it was going to work out somehow, because I was just going to be me, and I was going to share my passion. I was going to start small. I was going to just base it on that, and fortunately, it's all worked out quite good.
I hear and speak to people about that meditation time, or that time in the morning where they just disconnect from everything and get at one with themselves. Do you think that's, and I know you mentioned the word, you pray and listen to yourself, but do you think that's something in terms of something you can take away from what you learned from there, that that's what's going on?
Yeah. I can't imagine my life without me doing that, because that is my life.
Yeah.
Early mornings, late at nights, journaling, praying, meditating, and getting the quiet time. It's a very noisy world with phones, constantly text, social media, and everything else. All the things I love to do. You got to turn off your phone sometimes. One of the biggest blessings you can do is turn off your phone and just listen. Literally just listen to your inside. And call it what you want. You can call it prayer, you can call it meditation. You can journal, because again, I love journaling because you get clarity when you put things on paper. But for me, not just when things are like down or bad and I need a decision, but even just like in busy times, if it's busy. I think in today's day with such high stress and anxiety and depression, I think to be able to just quiet the mind for a few minutes early in the morning before the day gets away from you, is absolutely imperative. Like it's even if it's 3 minutes of that is huge. Sometimes in the middle of a day, I'll literally just shut my door, I'll turn my phone off, I will not go on email, and I'll just close my eyes, and I'm not taking a nap, although that sometimes sounds good. I'm just trying to tap into my breath so I can relax, because I mean, in today's day, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's happening faster and faster and faster, and it can consume you. I just find you get such more clarity when you can quiet things down. I often tell my athletes something, is good players can speed a game up, great players can slow a game down.
Right.
So how do you slow the game down?
Yeah.
How do you slow everything around you down? And if you can't slow down, then you can't be great.
Right.
So it's easy just to be in the rat race all the time. People are like, Todd, how do you get the energy you have? What a lot of people don't know is it's the yin side, I call it the yin, the quiet side that fuels the fire.
Yeah.
So it's getting to the quiet time, the meditation time, the prayer time. It's the getting more mellow yellow time away in the quiet, whether it be going to the beach, or for me, I love the mountains now, and getting away and fueling the spirit so the spirit comes alive and go on fire. Yeah. So that when I'm training my athletes, or I'm doing a meeting for the team, or I'm at a conference or an event, if I'm on a podcast or I'm doing a YouTube or video, that I can just be me and feel like I can let my passion flow.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the secret sauce is quieting everything down, going inside, tapping into that spirit, and making sure that I'm abiding by my divine purpose.